What's up, Griswold gang? Welcome to today's watch list. Happy to have you guys here. Let me ask you this. If you were a newcomer, even if you're not, would you guys benefit from being able to trade more profitably and more consistently? I think I know the answer is yes. Everybody should be answering yes. This channel and what we teach here, including this video, will help you guys get there, okay? This is what we do here. This is what we are trying to accomplish with you guys to become more profitable, more consistent traders. So thank you guys for joining me. You guys are in the right spot. I want to get to this watch list, but I want to go over a few things first. Number one, this trading platform that you guys see here, this screen that you see, this is called TradingView. So if you guys are looking for a platform to use to help you chart your trades and put your targets and your triggers on your trade, TradingView is a great platform. So I have a link in the description below. That link will give you a free 30-day trial to their paid subscription. So you'll get it free for 30 days. And then if you decide to use one of those subscriptions, you'll get up to $30 off of it. Okay, so that link is in the description below. I also have a Discord if you guys are interested in joining. That is also in the link in the description below. 95% of what I give out is free. There's a little bit of fee-based stuff, but everything that I offer, whether it's merchandise or the trading bots or the Griswold Strat indicator, which we'll talk about throughout the video, all of that you can find in the trading Discord with the link in the description below. The last thing that I want to discuss with you guys here real quick is the ads. I know it sucks. No one likes watching the ads. They're brutal to watch. But those ads pay for me to keep this stuff free for you guys, which I want to keep these videos free for you guys. I don't want to make that Discord just a paid Discord that you have to pay to be in it. So let's keep this free. The one thing that I ask you guys in return for me putting in the work to put out these watch lists and put out all the videos that I do for you guys is to just let those ads roll through. So go get a drink, go get a snack, and then come back and we can let these ads roll through. Keep the money in your pockets, okay? Let the advertisers pay for your guys' education. Okay, let's get onto this watch list. And like I said, as we go through the watch list, I am going to go through some things with you guys on the Strat indicator. It's an all-in-one stop shop, okay? You cannot find it in the indicator tab here. You have to go into the description below, and there's a link there for the purchase of it. It's a $25 one-time fee. If I add anything to it, you don't pay an extra cent, okay? And you get it for life. So BIDU is the first one on this list. So BIDU has a 2-up that finished red. So we did have a gap, so there is a gap to fill here, but a 2-up that finished red. So we're going to look for this to trend down. We're going to look for put contracts. The problem that I have here, and there's a few of the plays that are like this, on the weekly, there's a little bit of conflict. So the conflict is a 2 down that finished green. We've tagged the bottom of a broadening formation, and we're looking to trend upwards on the week. But the daily is showing us, a 2 red, which is it's a bearish pattern. So it's showing us, telling us that we're going to trend down on the day. That doesn't mean that's what's going to happen on the week, but for Monday's open, that's kind of what it looks like. So the one thing I want to remind you guys of, if you look at this time frame continuity indicator here, part of the Griswold Strat, it gives you the hourly, the daily, the weekly, the monthly, the quarterly, and the yearly, and which direction the candle is heading. So I have to remind you that opening Monday from this week backwards, the week, the day, and the hour, we don't know what those are going to be. But we do know that the month, the quarterly, and the yearly are all red. Okay, so I would look for this to trend down based on this information that we have here. So again, we can look for puts at 137.82. And normally when I give you guys targets, okay, the targets are normally, let me make that green for you guys. Normally the targets are at the bottom of a wick if we're looking at puts, but because we have this gap, meaning there is no candle in between this space here. There's no candle filling it. Okay, similar to this. Okay, there was no candle filling this. So when we have that gap, the top of the candle becomes your first target. The bottom of that same candle becomes your next target. Okay, so that's the play on BIDU. Now, people always ask me, and we'll go through this here, what do you take your strike price at? This is what I do. It's not what you have to do, and it's not what everybody does, but it's what I do, okay? So my strike price on this thing would be 137, okay? So the trigger on this is 137.82. My strike would be 137. Okay, I may take a 136, but I try to take the closest strike that I can to the trigger price. Okay, so for me, that's 137. And then the expiry date, again, this is a me thing. I take the closest expiry, meaning I will take, I think BIDU is probably a Friday expiry. So I will take that Friday expiry. If you want to buy some time, you can take out the next Friday. But guys, I'm only in these trades for like an hour or less. So that being said, I'm not trying to buy time here. I want to be in this trade. I want to be out of that trade. So if this trade works, I'm in. I take my profit. If it doesn't work, I'm out. And I move on to the next one. And you can go check out any of my review videos. Those will show you exactly how to manage your trades. And that's part of what we teach here is how to enter the trades, how to manage the trade while you're in it, and then how to get out of it. So you can check my review videos on that, okay? So this was BIDU. Let's go on to the next one. We'll go to Ford. So Ford had, again, a 2-up that finished red. So we're going to look for this to trend back to the downside. Again, we don't know what's going to happen here. 2-up, finished red. We'll look for puts at 1533, and we've got great magnitude. And magnitude is just our target, okay? That's what it means. It's from the trigger to the first target. That's our magnitude. So from 1533 to 1501, that's 32 cents. That is our magnitude. That is our target. You can call it whatever you want. You can say that's where the bulls have their stop losses. It all kind of means the same thing. The other thing I want to point out on Ford, I've got these 2 pink lines here. Okay, so that's telling me that on my weekly, because for me, I mark my triggers on the weekly in pink. So I know this is an inside bar on the week for 1, because I put those pink lines there. 2, because this Griswold Strat indicator that I talked about, it puts this yellow circle around there, and it's automatically telling me I'm inside on the week. So I already know that. So if we go to the week, there's my inside bar on the week, okay? And there's my pink lines representing that range of last week. So now when I switch back to the day, there we are. That's our range from here. This was Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, okay? Because Monday there was no trading. So that is our range from here to here of last week. We stayed inside of the previous week's range. And speaking of that, the Griswold Strat also gives you these yellow inside bars and these white outside bars. So it paints those bars that color for you so they're easier to see. Gives you these IB tabs, OB tabs, gives you the candlestick numbers as well, 2s, 3s, and 1s. And it gives you these yellow highlights when we have this amazing 3-1 setup that we talk about all the time on this channel and within the Strat. Okay, so that is our play for Ford. We're looking for puts on this one. And we're actually going to bring this up just a bit. We're going to say 1532 is our trigger. Next up, we're going to go to BA, that's Boeing Company, 2-up red with a shooter candle. So a shooter candle just has this body at the bottom and then this wick at the top. So it's an inverse hammer or a shooter candle. Looks like an upside down hammer. Okay. So again, on here, we can look for puts at 156.92. I haven't marked out targets, but we can do that one together. And again, pretty good magnitude on this. 156.92 would be our trigger, and we've got good range here at 153.84 on Boeing. We'll move on to BAC. The other thing I want to point out, guys, because it is a new week, I will have a weekly swing video out as well. BAC, gapped up on Friday, 2-up, finished red. We're going to call this a inverse hammer or a shooter candle. So another bearish pattern, a nice setup. And again, this week, we don't know what it's going to be, but if this does trend down, the hourly, the daily, and the weekly are all going to be red. And guys, I don't need full time frame continuity to tell me that this trade is going to work out. I like to see the hourly and the daily for sure. When I have the week, that's a really great bonus. And then everything after that is, again, just more bonus on our side, meaning there's just more probability that that trade is going to work out in the favor that we would like it to, okay? So puts at 34.84. We talked about the gap and how the triggers work on those gaps. So the top of the candle, and we can take profits at 34.74. And then our next target is way, way down here. Do I think we hit there? Probably not, but that would be your next target. Let's move on to Docusign, DOCU. Same thing, 2-up, finish red. So we can look for puts on this one at 61.76, but we've got this big gap here to fill. That's a big range there for us to move down to. I don't know if we get it. You can mark out some intermediate targets here. And here, we're just going to fill up those gaps as we go down, okay? Just like so. So puts at 61.76 on Docusign. GE, that's General Electric, 2 up, finished red. We have, again, conflict on the weekly. This is our weekly trigger here. So if we go to the weekly, we make note that we were 2 down that finished green on the week. So we're looking for this to trend back overall on the week to trend back up. But on the daily, we've got this 2 up that finished red. So the color doesn't really matter, guys. I mean, we can have a 2 up that finished green, and this can still trend back down. And that happens, okay? It does happen. It's okay if it does happen, okay? But I usually only show trades like this that are 2 up that finish red. So again, puts at 73.68, and then our first target is marked out. Let's move on to Lucid, LCID, 2 up, finish green. So this is the perfect example of what I was talking about. So again, we have conflict here on the week as well. We're looking for a 2 up on the week. And yes, we are 2 up green, but we have this shooter candle. So that's one of the things I'm looking for. And again, you notice the month, the quarterly, and the yearly are all red. If we trend down, we have full time frame to the downside. So we can look for puts on this thing at $14.93, and then our first target at $14.39. Let's move on to Starbucks. Starbucks has a 2 up that finished red. It's not really a shooter candle or an inverse hammer. You can call it that, but it's pretty ugly. I would like to see a bigger wick on this. So probably from about here up is what I would like to see. But we can look for puts on this thing at 88.61. And again, really good magnitude to the downside at 87.15 on Starbucks. Let me mark it out for you guys. There you go. Next up, we've got Space, SPCE. So Space is a tough one because we've got a little bit of a doji candle here. So this really could be green or red, either way you swing it. We're going to call it green because it's marked out as green. Okay, so we're going to look for calls on this thing at 6.12, and then our first target's marked out at $6.37. WFC, Wells Fargo. This is a shooter candle or an inverse hammer. Okay, so we can look for puts on this thing at 45.25, and our first target's at 43.34. XLU is up next, 2 up, finished red. We'll look for puts on this thing at 76.86. First target's at 76.67. CVS Health Corporation, 2 up, finished red. We'll look for puts at 101.90. Lithium, LTHM. I believe somebody said lithium was at all-time highs. So that looks correct. And I did want to talk about this for 2 reasons, okay? So there's a bunch of reasons LTHM looks good. Sorry, I keep on saying lithium. It's LTHM, Livent Corporation, not lithium. So, like I said, there's a few things here. So number 1, we've got this 2 up that finished red, okay? Number 2, we have a shooter candle or an inversed hammer, okay? That's 2. Number 3, we're at all-time highs. Sarah's Strat Sniper always tells you guys, when you're at all-time highs, you should be very, very cautious about taking this thing long. You should always look for a reversal and then a reversal back up into all-time highs. So we have that candle, that shooter candle is giving us that idea. And here's another example of that all-time highs where we ran up, 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 and then this inside bar took us all the way back down. Okay, so that's another one. And then the last thing I want to talk about is this broadening formation. I drew this broadening formation a long time ago. And I'm going to zoom out so you can see it. And I'm going to click on this line so you can see where it was drawn to. So this must have been drawn on a different time frame. I'm guessing on the weekly or the monthly. There we go. So I drew it on the weekly. Is it the weekly? Monthly maybe? Let's go check out the monthly. There we go. I drew it on the monthly. Okay. So I went from higher highs to higher highs and lower lows to lower lows. Yeah, I skipped through here because that's just not going to happen, especially with this range of $12 here. Okay. So I moved this to there, and you could do that if you wanted to. That makes sense as well. Let's just leave it there. So we went higher highs to lower lows to higher highs to lower lows to higher highs. Okay, so we're at those higher highs. When we flip back to the day, we're at those higher highs. Okay, we did exactly what this broadening formation said we were going to do. Okay, we tagged these all the way through, highs to lows to highs to lows, back to the highs. Where do you think this thing's going next? Okay, I'm not saying it's going to come all the way back down to this $16, $17 range, but we draw these broadening formations for a reason, and they, it's not coincidence that these things play out like this. This is price action. So price aggregates. It moves in the rhythm, almost of like a heartbeat. And I've said this to you guys before. We've got this boom, 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 boom. This motion, okay? And that's how stocks move. You can see how it just flows up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down and up. Where do you think the next possible way that this thing goes? Okay? But we need that signal to give us that push to the downside, and everything that I've just gone through gives you guys that for LTHM. Guys, if you find this stuff helpful, if you're learning from it, if you stay till the end, there are videos, there's a playlist, a learning tool playlist geared just towards you guys to help you guys learn this stuff in more depth. Okay, there's review videos, there's stuff on the candlestick numbers, everything that you guys, I've got 300 plus videos on here for you guys to learn how to trade this system, how to trade the strat, how to do it profitably, how to do it consistently. And just like I talked about in the beginning of the video, I know becoming a more profitable, consistent trader would help any of you guys. Making profits every single day, that would help anybody. And that's our whole goal here, is to help teach you guys how to do that. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you're subscribing. I'm on Twitter at Mr. Clark Griswold. Go follow me there. I'm here to help you guys. So ask the questions, leave the comments down below, click the thumbs up, get in the Discord, and let's learn and earn together. Good luck trading Monday, guys. We will see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.